is Maxeline Babi of Cotton Sport of Garoua, for Idris Column Sportif of Yaoundé, Olympic Samuel Union Sportif of Douala. Meanwhile, at the defense, we have in Kusile Grand Stade Renata Billy Simang Udwa Musa, Donald Bichik from Victoria United, Dawa Federic Nga Vongo, and equally Nangwa Rodrid, Hamadou Hamza, Focham Terrell, and Odiama Maxime, and equally at the midfield level, it is Ntako Frank, Okin Felix, Fozing Warin, Mulu Muhammad, Nathan Douala Wilfried, and Fopa Brandon, Chindo John Bosco, and Girola Durell. And meanwhile, the attack is Akbar Clinton, Abangana Amusa, Edimon Jo, Richmond in Fortu Bless, Fomu Boris, Mujobu Mohammed, Desmond Kameni, and equally Jusa. That is it in terms of the 30-man player list that has been summoned by Coach Saw Simplis. And mind you that campaign has already started at level of Bankomo, where these players are getting things done in terms of this particular CHAN qualifier that has already started. And away from that, let's talk about the African Cup of Nations qualifier, where let's look at the teams that have already picked up a qualification ticket to Morocco. Who are those? We're talking about the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Angola, and Senegal that have already picked up a ticket to Morocco in terms of the upcoming African Cup of Nations, and the host of other teams. And away from that, Aliou Cisse, it's not longer going to be the coach of the Teranga Lions of Senegal due to some not respecting some clauses of his contract. And with that, it's going to be an end of the era for Coach Aliou Cisse. We're hoping that the Teranga Lions equally are going to pick up from where Aliou Cisse left. And away from that, let's talk about the American Football Federation that is bringing a 2-day training session here in Boya, and it's going to run from the 14th to the 16th of November 2024 at the Boya Town Stadium. And mind you that it is a training session for youth, both boys and girls, for free, and equally coaches that are interested in learning the American football. There is a registration fee plus a certificate to be paid for the sum of 18,000 francs. Are you interested in learning the American football? Do you want to pursue a career in it? This is an opportunity for you coming November 14 right up to the 16th at the Boya Town Stadium. And mind you that it's going to be an impactful session for the next star here in the Southwest region. And let's go straight away to look at what has been transpiring with our elite clubs after the end of the season, and equally after the Cup of Cameroon, where we have a host of teams like Bafma United and equally Isosa Victoria United that have been training ever since the season started, coupled with the fact that they have equally been playing a lot of friendlies to dot the I's and cut the T's as they await the final date for the upcoming next season. And equally, let's talk about what has been the current Elite One champions, which is Victoria United, where the Southwest side has been flying, should I say, dotting her I's and cutting the T's ever since she was ousted prematurely by Simintax FC in 1996 over there in Ghana. It's been Victoria United carrying on with friendlies to be able to strengthen their squad and equally signing new players, especially from around other clubs like Option Sport of Bamenda and equally a host of others. And now let's come back to players box. Which are these players that have been making the international scene a little bit shaking? We're talking about no other person than John Bosco, Chidon John Bosco, where it was a common see and go and tell in terms of his transfer or his move and his presentation to Cotton Sport of Garoua. One of the transfer movements that have awakened the visibility player terrain in terms of what this player had Remember that it's been long that we find a club presenting local players in Cameroon, and Chindo Bosco have this opportunity thanks to his management. Kosi, that's Joshua Kosimbong, who was there to be able to bring us what it means to give a player visibility in terms of transfer, and to tell you that this goes straight away to build in confidence in this player. And mind you that from Young Sport to Cotton Sport of Garwa, Chindo has equally promised to keep on the pace, to keep on the skills that he had in options in Yosa. Why not do something bigger that it's going to marvel a lot of spectators as the upcoming season is approaching. And equally, let's move from a Cotton Sport of Garwa to Iceland Home Sports Academy Isosa, who equally has given out Albert Tiku to a Union Sportive of Douala after an agreement of about 2.5 million transfer fee. And mind you that despite the several controversies that were surrounded on this transfer, it's been certain as next year it's no longer going to be Albert Tiku in the corridors of Iceland Home Sports Academy, but rather in the house of Union Sportive of Douala. We're wishing them a good luck, Chindo John Bosco and Albert Tiku, and the host of other players that have left one club to another as the transfer windows are closed some weeks back. We will be waiting to see what they are going to bring to us in terms of enticing our eyes with beautiful football. And that is it in terms of the sports update for today's edition of the High Sport Vada on High Television. We'll go straight away to look on what is transpiring in the corridors of the Cameroon Sports Association for the Boya chapter. And mind you that there is been a rebranding of this particular association despite due to rather some very, should I say, things not moving on forward for sport journalists here in the Southwest region. And we meet today, it's no other fine person than the president of the Cash Association here in the Boya, and it's no other person than Mambo Edward. Thank you very much, President, for joining us today on the set.
The honor is mine, Sonita. It's always a delight to be on set with great minds like you and the others who are here, Boris, and the viewers out there. It's always an honor to be on set on High TV.
And about my left, it's a household name, my Boris Solo. Thank you very much for joining us on today's on the set.
It's a pleasure, Sonita. Good evening to you and good evening to all the listeners and the viewers. As far as the program today is concerned, many will be asking why do I say listeners? You know, we're living in a terrain and in a milieu where we have our brothers who are physically challenged, and definitely they can hear what we're saying, but unfortunately cannot see us on television. So good evening to everyone.
Definitely, and I'm going to start with you, President. First of all, why the rebrand of the Cameroon Association of Sport Journalists here in the Southwest region?
I will not call it a rebrand. I will call it a rebirth because what was there was a fast. I was not part of the old house, not because I did not want to, but because I could sense from a distance that things were not done properly. And for the last 4 years, no one in the Southwest has had a cash card. So you pay your money, some guys take it and go somewhere and drink their mimbo, eat their soya. You are in an association where there are no activities, and the little fallout that come for the members, a few people grab and swallow, and the rest are like they are just there to accompany them. Whereas I can name you Boris, I can name you Sonita, I can tell you about Ekim, I can tell you about Basil, Ndombe, the guys who are there every day to cover sports events in the Southwest, but yet they are not getting any of the benefits that are due them because a few greedy guys are taking everything and leaving the profession open for charlatans. When someone rings a bell now and say that sports journalists of the Southwest come for a meeting, who goes? Anyone comes. But imagine that we had an umbrella association where you can identify who is who through their cards. Not everyone can come, and the cards are not given to any Jack and Jill. They are given to those who deserve those cards. So that's the kind of thing I want to do. We want to also look at the possibility of giving journalists the chance to build their capacities. Most of us are trained in school, yes, but there are others with better experience. There are others who've been there longer, who can give us the little tip that makes the difference. I don't think that it will be humiliating for me to bow down to Simon Lyonga on GM the Albert to say that, big brothers, you have been there before me. How can I do? You have experienced more than I have. How can I do to become better? That is the kind of thing that we want to do, because having sports journalists dispersed, no one knowing who is who, is not the best.
Okay, thank you very much. So are we saying that this rebirth is going to build a flexible environment for identification of sport journalists here in the Southwest region?
Guaranteed. The first thing I will guarantee everyone is no one will pay a dime and not know where the dime has gone to, because in the years back, people have paid. I was embarrassed when I went to Yaoundé for the General Assembly meeting, and the National Treasurer at the time, Madame Aliokadia Bomben, was saying that they are reimbursing every region all what they sent to Yaoundé from their region. If you've not had cards, okay, you paid for 10 cards, so we are giving back your money. And the Southwest had 5,000 francs, meaning that everyone paid from the Southwest. They sent 5,000 francs to Yaoundé. That is inadmissible in a time and era where you expect that we who claim to be the young, we who claim to be the ones who should showcase integrity, are rather following or doing things that you would not ever imagine. So I just think that we have a noble profession. We have to showcase that nobility by being honest, transparent, and show some integrity.
By being honest, like you say, and showing integrity. And then over to you, Boris Osondo. You are a sport journalist here in the Southwest region, and I'm sure you've been opportune to pay the registration fee for having this card. Now, hearing this from the new president of CAD, what comes to your mind?
Well, a lot of things comes on my mind, and it's not something that we can really sugarcoat. It's not something that we can hide. It's something that you and I have lived for the past year or two or so. You know, when we talk about the aspect of cards, and I think what Mambo is trying to indicate there is the aspect of the cash card. When we talk about the cash card, we're also looking at the AIPS card. And for international people, those who want to cover international events, and my brothers and sisters, you cannot do it without those cards, especially AIPS. They always ask you go to FIFA website, you want to apply, they must ask you the card.
The cash card?
The cash card.
For
FIFA. For FIFA, when I want to apply for, let's say, the World Cup, that's, for example, and even the World Cup that's coming up in USA, Mexico, and Canada. If you are not opportune to have that card, there is no way you're going to apply for the FIFA World Cup without it. For CAF is a bit lenient with the Africa Cup of Nations. With your own card of, let's say, ITV, Dash Radio, Dream FM, amongst others, when you get that card, you can apply for CAF. But with FIFA, it's not the case. You must have the cash card. So I think that's something that we've been, unfortunately, talking about within our own sector as far as sports journalists are concerned. But sadly, it wasn't the case, and unfortunately, I don't have my own card. It's not something that I should hide it because it's there. It's all played. So it was unfortunate because, you know, there are certain people who have the ambition not just to stay in the Southwest, but to go further with other international events. And when you ask your card, you ask, but what is happening? And give us time. When you ask your card, give us time. So it doesn't really do justice on why you pay. And you have to say a question. Okay, who is a sports journalist now in the Southwest? You have to say that question. But when you go to the field,
Masses.
like Mambo said, I can count a whole season how many people have been on the field. I can pinpoint how many guys have been there. Surprisingly, when the mini Interpol comes up, you know, the regular season and mini Interpol, that's where you start seeing now the other guys. And the guys that you don't even know, who've not taken time to be on the field. I keep saying, and I will say it everywhere I go, the regional league does not start at the mini Interpol. The regional league starts at the start of the season. That is the match day one. That's where the league starts. So when you don't have your card, something I cannot really call myself a sports journalist because you don't identify it as because you don't have the card.
Definitely.
Just like saying that you're a member of Kamaseb, you don't have a Kamaseb. So what makes you feel like you're a member of Kamaseb?
There is the notion that they are giving the guys who were there before that they have now they are a breakaway to a new association of sports journalists in Cameroon. Let me put this clear
Definitely,
to
because I was coming to
anyone who wants to understand. FIFA and AIPS, the World Sports Journalists Association, have been very, very careful because they knew that to come to that, every country has only one recognized association. Cameroon, fortunately or unfortunately, that association is CASH. So in previous years, what they used to do is when they want to go for like FIFA World Cups, they will come and say they have made a coalition. Everyone is now under CASH. They have made concessions. The other factions have come because FIFA knew that in some countries, for example, in Morocco, there was a time they had 3 associations. The FIFA told them no. We know one, and that is the one that we recognize. Egypt, the same thing. So these are things that FIFA had anticipated, that you will have these guys who always want to meander their way through stuff and then create a new association and then come and say we too are. So in Cameroon, it is one, it is CASH. To have the AIPS card, it is one, it is CASH. So no matter what anyone says, we all want everyone on board. And trust me, it's disheartening when you go to the FECAFOOT office and they are telling you that before the mini interpose or before the season began, some guys walked through the door and signed 500k on behalf of sports journalists. And these guys you don't see on the pitch, never. They only come for the days of the mini interpose finals or the semi-finals, and they take the money. The ones who do the work on a daily basis are not given a dime. 2 or 3 people gather and share that money amongst themselves, and they still have the effrontery to insult others, to talk about themselves as if what they did is not verifiable. I am not saying that I am a saint, but I'm saying that I went to the FECAFOOT office here in the Southwest and they gave me this information with witnesses, and I was taken aback knowing that these same guys who went and took this money are not the guys who do the work every day. How can we distinguish the bad grains from the fine grains? It's only under an umbrella association that we can say, hey, we can't accept this. Things must be done properly.
And so if I may just chip in on what Mambo just said concerning the aspect of the association. Unfortunately, that's how human nature is. When you don't like something, you try to do another thing to cover up, to feel like that is the association that should be accredited. Like Mambo said, it's not something we are hiding, right? CASH, the Cameroon Association of Sports Journalists, is recognized across the board. CASH is only one. There's no 2 CASH in the country. It's only one. Various chapters, Southwest chapter, which Mambo is the head at the moment. There is no 2. Unfortunately, what is happening to the broader journalism association now is happening to CASH. Why do I say so? If you look at the journalism association as in general, you have Kamasej, SNJC, French journalists, these journalists. So they are split into various camps, right? That's what unfortunately is happening now. People feel like, okay, this camp is in quote against Samuel Eto'o, so we're not going to support them. Let's create our own association and we try to bring in the others to see that, okay, this is the recognized CASH, but there's no 2 CASH. It's only one.
And CASH is not answerable to Samuel Eto'o.
Even
if someone is against him or for him, that has no bearing. I will tell you something. The national SG of CASH is Mirabo Mahop. He's a celebrated journalist that you and I know. Yeah. He has made his stance clear from the first day I met him. I've been watching him on his TV channel, but then I met him. He said he doesn't want to hear this Eto'o FECAFOOT stuff because to him it makes no sense. We should, as journalists, focus on the facts and leave the partisan reporting. And you meet the president, the national president, Ekungawena, he will tell you the same thing. Who someone supports or who he doesn't support does not affect who should be a journalist.
Unfortunately, Mambo, that's the case. That's what is happening at the moment. I think we just have to be honest with ourselves. There are certain people who feel like, okay, these people who are in this new body of CASH are the people who are against, in quote, the president of the FECAFOOT, which is not the case, right? It doesn't mean that if I don't support, say, President Samuel Eto'o, I should not be in the association. Or if you support, in quote, MINSEP, then there's supposed to be a problem, or everybody must support the current. It doesn't work like that. And like you
How
said,
many activities in cash are geared towards showing support to
that's
Samuel
what-
Eto'o
and that's
or
what-
towards the minister?
yeah, and that's what I was going to. I just wanted to make this out clear that it is not about
The two parties.
a camp. Cash is not about it, because I think we're saying this and we're smiling, but we know what goes
Yeah,
backstage,
definitely.
right?
When we report volleyball, handball, basketball, the
Yes.
mountain race, how is Eto'o involved in that?
That is it.
Well, how is
So-
the Ministry of
That's,
Sport?
Exactly.
what we're saying. So, and you know, Mambo, the problem we have now is that most of the times, sports journalists are always seen in the realm of football. They forget to know that
The other
sports
sport
journalists,
disciplines.
cash, it's not about football. Cash is about basketball,
Yeah.
handball, volleyball, Nambondo. It's an umbrella association. So it's not only about football. So for others who feel like this, the new bureau is against the president of FECAFOOT, I want to say that that's not the case.
Definitely.
We all have our own opinions. We don't want to share it on screen here, but we know where some people stand. That is clear. They made their stands clear. But when they come in front of TV, they are talking about what is happening concerning sports. It's not about the president. It's not about myself, right? So that's what I just wanted to throw in as the fact that cash is not football. It's Cameroon Association of Sport. It's not Cameroon Association of
And
Football
even,
Journalists.
even if it is football,
Yeah.
it is Union, it is Tone, it is
Yeah.
Kanong, it is
Definitely.
Mount Cameroon Bambutus. It is not Samuel Eto'o, it is not Mwele Kombi, it is football. Football goes beyond these two individuals.
And definitely, that's to all those who were thinking that this new rebirth for Cash Southwest, it's having a different objective, a different mentality, a different goal to achieve. As you rightly heard from the president, it is not the case, as they are here to give sport journalists in the Southwest region what they want us being under this particular canopy. And now there have been a lot of challenges that have been faced by sport journalists here in the Southwest region. Now I want to generalize everything, because at one point you find those in Meme complaining that they feel that they are left out in every activity. So what do you have for those that are in Meme in terms of this particular rebirth for Cash?
The first thing is, when you look at the current bureau, it is tentative, yes, but we ensured that it also had guys from other parts of the region. Madam Olivia Ejang is an advisor. Mr. Tabi Emmanuel is an advisor. Tabi Emmanuel is in Kumba. Olivia Ejang is not also in Fako.
From Bangem.
She's in Bangem, in Kopem and Nguba. And that is just to give an idea that everyone who wants to be on this movement, on this ship, the ship is big. It can take everyone, and the bigger we are, the more people we have on board, the more weight we have, and the more mass we can push together as a group or as a family. So I think everyone has their place in Cash, as long as you are a practicing journalist, you respect the ethics and the canons of the profession. You are not an armchair journalist. You are on the field every day, every now and then. Even the armchair journalists are also welcome. We don't judge how you carry out your profession. We are only there maybe to advise ourselves, but everyone, as long as we can respect the norms of the association, and we too, as the association, respect what you deserve as a member, I think we are good to go.
And definitely, many have been asking that what does it take for one to be on the Cash? I'll stay with you, President.
I met it that way. They register 15,000 francs, and I tried to find out how the money is used. I was told that 10,000 francs goes to the National Bureau in Yaoundé, and 5,000 francs stays in the regional bureau for their activities. That's what I got from the national president, and so I was discussing with the vice president of Cash Cameroon, Ango Leslie, and he was saying that they were looking at ways to increase the mandate of this money, because if you pay 15K every year, it's kind of heavy. They are taking means to say you pay 15K and it goes for 2 years. I told him it's all good as long as Cash, the different regions can look for activities to keep themselves going, because when you keep your eyes on members' registrations, that is the first step towards failure. You have to look for other avenues to get your activities going. The national president was saying that Cash National was planning to invite this popular Canapus journalist Lilian Gatun to come and school them on sports reporting. And I was like, when you are saying Cash National and Cash Littoral, where do you leave us? Which one Lilian Gatun?
Definitely.
He should come down and speak his French. We will see his lips. We will read his lips. We will just see Lilian Gatun and be inspired. And he said, of course, as long as you guys can join us, you are welcome.
Definitely, I was heading there.
Yeah, so I wanted to just
Okay.
throw light on that aspect. I think that's something which I like the most, because they keep saying, and
You
even
will.
it must not be in the sport milieu, all journalists, if you cannot have adequate knowledge, you left school 5 years ago, what have you done to update your skills?
Definitely.
Now we're talking about journalism in the realm of AI. So many things are happening in AI. If you are not updated with AI, my brother and sister, you might be left behind. So, and the aspect of training is very, very important. Aspect of workshop, activities that can make the association very much vibrant. Like Edward said, when you pay your money now, what is being done for the whole year, right? Those are activities that keep members going. I always use the example of Kamasej Littoral or Douala, right, as one of the pinnacle. See what they do, right? Every month they have some time, they can have a workshop, they visit this association and give them knowledge on investigative journalism. Like Mongo is saying, Kani Angulesli is noted concerning the aspect of African football, the aspect of how, you remember last time we talked about clubs, how they've not yet registered, right?
Yeah.
The licensing issue. We call them, they school us on this process. We call our noted referee, this FIFA that they call him. He comes to schools us on the aspect
Justus
of.
Mbele,
That's
Tanisha
so,
Drag, they are all here.
yeah, and that's what we missed out, right? I'm not saying that the former bureau did not do well.
We can
it's all about
we can
getting
say
it.
we are sports journalists, and we go to the field and we join the
population.
emotional supporters when they say, why if you blow that ball, why if you don't cheat that, and then
journalists
we also follow the win.
population, yeah.
Whereas if, like Boris was saying, if you were schooled on the rules, because how many of us
Definitely.
know the
The
rules,
rules.
you would understand that what the call made by the referee is the right call. It's just because of the emotion of the moment and ignorance probably that is making the fans to agitate. But what the next thing you see is a journalist saying referee cheated and even if the referee cheated,
Yeah.
is not the place of the journalist to go and say that in that manner. Have you asked the referee? Have you asked a referee to interpret the action, and then you conclude that he actually cheated? Those are the small things that we have to learn, and we can learn this through Cash.
Definitely, because I was coming to that. There is this notion that journalists in the francophone, sport journalists, let me be precise, that journalists in the French region have more benefits than we here. Why do I say so, President? I give you a good example. While in Garoua, the game Cameroon against Burundi, and that was a preparation qualifying game to Ivory Coast. And you find this French journalist saying that you guys have to have the card for 50,000. I've forgotten the name.
AIPS card.
AIPS card. That if you have to have this card so that it helps you to grab the benefits that these cards can offer. And in the midst of the thousands of other journalists out there, you're seeing Anglophone journalists knocking their heads up, left, right, center, asking that, my dear, what card is this? So you're trying to understand what I mean. So I want you to maybe clarify to those who are out there that you being under Cash, this is what you are going to benefit, and this is what we are going to give you as a member.
The first thing we are giving you as a registered Cash member is your Cash card. And from your Cash card, you can apply through Cash National Bureau for your AIPS card and you pay your 50K. The AIPS card is a card that gives